What a scene that was.
14 minutes past and a new hearing now set looking into another case of extravagant spending by a tarnished federal agency. The GSA already accused of forking over $270,000 for a performance reward ceremony that includes $20,000 worth of drumsticks for attendees. Here is how they used them at that conference.
Give a big rumble on your drumsticks for this group of people here who created an harmonic existence inside your organization. Because once you have harmony, the ripple out effect to your client and to your customer is phenomenal.
So it went from there, and California Congressman Jeff Denham wants to make sure it stops right there. Republican chairman of the House Subcommittee on Economic Development. Sir, good morning to you.
Bill, good morning. Thanks for having me back.
You bet. What do you want to do in this next hearing? What do you want to find out?
Well, we've obviously got to cut waste. I mean, these conferences have been going on. We found out yesterday that this is an annual conference. It's a one-day conference where they spent $270,000 in 2010. But even after the president issued an executive order saying no more conferences, they still kept doing it. So on an annual basis, they're spending over $250,000 a year, and it's got to stop.
Well, this is what we found as you watch the video here. We'll slide this graphic on the screen. $268,000 spent on that one-day conference that you say is now annual. $20,000 on the drumsticks you see screen right. $35,000 for picture frames. And an $8,500 appearance fee by Agent X. Oh. So your next hearing, is it a direct result of what you found out here by this conference outside of Washington? Or does this go back to the waste you found in Vegas several months ago?
No, we are looking at all conferences, what they did in Vegas and Maui. They've got another conference coming up in Maui this year. And the question really is not only why are you wasting so much money, how much money are you wasting, and how deep does this go? But the main question here is, if the president has issued an executive order, why are you ignoring it?
Yeah. Good question. What do you think the GSA got out of this conference, by the way? I mean, what was the intent behind the... Just take the example on our screen right here. The drumsticks. What was the lesson to be taught there?
I don't know. I mean, certainly they're talking about team building and awarding some type of reward system, but where are the goals and measurements? Show us what we're getting back to the taxpayer. They haven't sold any properties. They haven't leased any properties at fair market value. I mean, they're not doing a good job of what their main task is.
I think
and the biggest part of the problem...
Go ahead.
The biggest part of the problem is this is the agency that sets the standard for every other agency in government. So if they're doing this, you can see how bad the rest of government is.
I think that's the point. The irony is that the GSA is supposed to watch what we spend, to a degree.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, sir, when is your hearing? Because I also want to, well, you're looking at whether or not federal land can be managed and administered by private companies instead of the federal government. How would that work?
Well, the question I've been asking, I mean, this has been such an abuse of the system and an abuse of the taxpayer dollars. The question I've been asking is, can we abolish GSA altogether? Show me why you have to be in existence. Show me how you're saving money for the taxpayer. Show me how your leasing is done better than the private industry, and certainly, you know, with the waste with all these conferences. So that's the real test, is to show that local realtors and local communities can actually do a better job of leasing and selling property than what government is doing.
$35,000 for picture frames. I don't know what was framed in that picture, but we'll find out. Do you believe this conference will ever happen again after your hearing is conducted in early August?
I think that there are conferences like this that are happening across government. And even with the president's executive order, unless we go out and investigate, unless we hold those accountable and actually put a law in place to stop these conferences, they're going to continue on.
Well, if that's the point, we are just scratching the surface, sir. So keep in touch with us. We will do the same, and we'll wait for that hearing come the 1st of August. Jeff Denham, thank you for your time on the Hill today. Catchy tune, huh,
It looks
Martha?
like a very fun drumstick conference, though. I mean, I know it costs a lot of money and everything. We paid for it as taxpayers, but she definitely got the crowd revved up.
I think for a lot of those folks there at that conference, I mean, next stop is clearly American Idol, because they really have talent and skill, don't you think?
Woo, woo, she keeps going in the background. Yeah. Woo. There we go. we gotta get them on the show. Find out what that's all about. I like that. All right, so first it was South